Let's bring in our panel. The great Brian Kilmeade, host of One Nation, co-host of Fox and Friends. Well, wait, what One Nation, that's the one. And what about the radio show?
Yeah, Brian Kilmeade show on the radio. You love doing this show.
I love doing
Donald Trump is on tomorrow.
Whatever Brian does, I love to do. And Caroline Downey, National Review staff writer, all good. Brian, let's start with the war. So I guess this phone call with the EU, conference call with the EU, what I gather is there'll be no territorial decisions with Putin. The main thing Trump wants is a ceasefire. But as Alexandria Hoff mentioned, I mean, no other breakthroughs. And then it says there'll be consequences if the meeting goes south. But I'm just not sure what any of that means, to be honest.
Well, a couple of things. I love this. There's going to be consequences. So if Vladimir Putin shows up and says, my demands haven't changed. No EU, no NATO, the battle lines stay the same, and you can't have an army, can't have police force, and have elections. If that's the same, Trump's going to walk out and go, I just wasted my time, and they're going to be hit with those Senate sanctions or something that looked like that. I got it. But what he said was so good. He goes, I'm getting this started. The next step, and I want it to be right away, will be with Zelensky, and if they want me there, I'll go. So what he's trying to say is, I'm trying to make something happen. If he doesn't come to play, there'll be ramifications, but don't look at me.
I'm trying to follow this very carefully. We know Putin wants to keep the territories in eastern Ukraine. Right? He didn't get what he hoped for. He didn't sweep through Ukraine. He didn't win over Kyiv. But he's got these territories. He still has the Crimea going back many years. Do you think Trump will give him those territories at some point, and in return for what?
Well, I hope not, because I think that would be a pretty significant capitulation. I think what Putin has proven, Larry, is that he's very deceptive. He's misguided Trump this entire time. And I think Trump needs to follow his own advice from the art of the deal, which is know when to walk away from the table. And I also think we have to look at the long run. NATO specifically, I think NATO is going to continue to be a very powerful deterrent to Russian aggression, because I think Russia's goals are beyond just some of the territories that maybe have been conquered in this war, or wrongfully taken over, but it's the former Soviet empire. I do think Putin still wants some of those old Soviet states, and I think that is his long-term ambition, and it's important that Trump remembers that.
Can anybody, in all honesty, you're negotiating with Vladimir Putin. Is it possible to believe anything he says at any time?
Well, I want to know how good the intelligence is to show you how desperate he is economically. Because how desperate is it that you need North Koreans to work in your factory? How desperate are you to beg Yemenis to go fight for you and North Koreans to go fight for you? How bad do you have to be off to say, hey, North Korea, I'll give you satellite stuff if you can just give me bullets. And hey, we're going to pay for a copyright for drones from Iran. My goodness, these are third world countries. They're a first world army. We thought the best army, and they've been nothing but humiliated. They just don't tell their people that. The information hasn't gotten to their people of 150 million that die in society. So maybe he told Witkoff, and you would know, Witkoff, hey, I'm looking to talk. Can you set something up?
He loves to talk.
Because he
loves to talk. That's his whole. He loves to talk.
But I don't think Trump's being deceived. I don't think Trump's being deceived, because he said it. He goes, this guy's tapping me along. Trump is saying it. So if he does it again, there's going to be hell to pay.
Well, oil prices are slipping lower, so that is an interesting thing. That says something positive might come from this. Let's have some more fun on this, though. We'll get out of the Ukraine-Russia war zone. The Texas legislative and gubernatorial Republicans are beating the goofy Democrats. They could pick up 5 or 6 new seats in the House, Caroline Downey. Politics, 5 or 6 seats in the House for Mike Johnson. That'd be a hell of a win.
Sure would be. And I also think it's so ironic how the Democrats, were kicking and screaming and doing all this fanfare by going to Illinois to protest the partisan gerrymandering.
It's a perfectly dreadful place, isn't it?
It certainly is. But also, Governor Pritzker signed a law that allowed for Democratic redistricting, which allowed the Republicans to lose seats and the Democrats to gain seats. So, I mean, they should really have a hypocrisy check anytime they're going to do a big PR stunt to another state like Illinois. This is just politics, and they can't pretend that they have some moral high ground here, because they would have done the exact same thing, and they have many times.
Caroline, I think the other thing with the brought up is the interesting standoff with Gavin Newsom, because he said, hey, Mr. President, in his own Trump-esque way, you better tell Texas to back off, or I'm going to get a referendum and I'm going to redistrict. And Governor Abbott jumped in and said, You do that, I'm going to change 5 seats to 10 seats, and I got much more maneuverability. And you know, DeSantis is not shy. He's going to say Florida's gotten pretty red. I don't think we're properly represented in the House. I think I'm going to start drawing some new lines. And he's got a pretty cooperative legislature.
Which reminds me, not only the Democrats losing all these battles, but the most important Democrat all summer long is, wait for it, Mamdani. Mamdani the commie, as some people like to call him. He's the most important Democrat. And I'm prepared to say that for that reason, the rest of the country looks at this guy and realizes what he stands for: anti-Semitism, hates Israel, high taxes, defund the police, and so forth and so on. He's the tip of the Democratic spear. This is driving people to the Republican Party. I think it's driving up the stock market because Trumpian pro-growth policies are going to stay in place. Mamdani is the leading Democrat in the country now?
It's pretty bleak, Larry, and business leaders are allergic to Mamdani's policies, as they should be. And I think the key thing here is that he's popular in New York City among elites, the young elites that feel disenfranchised. It's actually my demographic. We are graduates from college. We feel like we're not going to achieve what our parents did. Home ownership might not be attainable. And so we feel like Mamdani and socialism is our ticket to success.
Last word.
My last word is this. Meta workers, Google workers are also his leading donors. So you're right. He rediscovered a political constituency. I think that he does have talent, though. He can speak.
He's fabulous.
Right. So that's just it.
He's so good that he's going to increase Republican majorities all across the country.
Unintentionally.
That's why he's fabulous now. I think he's...
You're falling in love with him?
He's contributing 1,000 points to the Dow Jones this summer alone. Caroline Downey and Brian Kilmeade.